superpower. We all want it. In fact, we all have it. Did you know that you were born with a superpower, but somewhere along the line may have lost touch with that superpower? This superpower can help you peak your productivity, help you feel calm, zen, and be happy and fulfilled in life. Are you confused about which superpower am I talking about? The superpower of being in the now. There is a lot of power in the now, and we can deal with it with mindfulness. Ladies and gentlemen, we're so busy in today's world. We're always going from task A to B to C to Z, and I wish there were more letters in the alphabet system. We're always doing something. And when we're not doing something, we're actually thinking about doing something, something that we've already done or something that we will do later. Last I checked, although we're always doing, we are human beings and not human doings. Then when are we really being? Enter mindfulness, the superpower that everybody can reclaim. Mindfulness is just a very fancy way of saying being aware of the present moment, but in a non judgmental manner, to be more accepting of your emotions, to tap in to all your senses. And we all can do it. Mindfulness is not new. It's in fact backed by evidence, but it's an ancient practice. And I want today to talk to you about how I reclaimed my power of now and how I was able to tap into it mindfully. And hopefully, we'll make it interactive and help you tap into your superpower as well. So, I have a confession. I'm a psychiatrist. I practice with mental health patients for a living, and one would wonder why a doctor, a psychiatrist, is talking about a topic on mindfulness and not about mental health diseases or not particularly about, medication. I was just somebody who passed out of medical school, and I realized that I had a problem. I wasn't doing justice to my patients. Practically every patient would ask me, Doctor, can I meditate for mental health? And honest to God confession, at that time I had never meditated in my life. And yet on my prescription, I would prescribe meditation. So I felt like a fraud, which got me thinking, what was the reason that I wasn't able to meditate? I think most of us will fit into this. We all think of meditation as sitting in this awkward posture, the lotus posture, sitting for long hours, and we'll have a scratchy nose that we can't scratch. We have to empty our minds out, and we have to take out 2-3 hours for it. I'm with you. We all think of meditation, mindfulness as being this extremely positive practice. You may have to go to Himalayas to possibly do it. I was no different. But then I stumbled upon reading about mindfulness, and my world changed. I found something that I could give not only to my patients, but also do for myself. In fact, like I was mentioned, I'm a mental health ninja, and I fight a lot of mental health stigma. And one of the main aims is to make mental health a priority for everybody. We don't do enough justice to our minds. The mind is the biggest friend, the best friend, and the worst enemy for us all. In fact, did you know that 1 in 4 people will have mental health disorder in their lifetime? So I'm going to do that quick maths. 1, 2, 3, 4. It could be me. Not because I'm a doctor doesn't mean that I'm, not going to have any mental health issues. Or it could be for you. So clearly, mental health disorders are on such a rise. We've been reading the papers about depression, anxiety, and all these words becoming a common name now. So what can we do, essentially? Instead of just looking into what we can do, why don't we see that what happens when we don't look into the now, when we don't savor the now? So I'm going to talk about 2 of the most common conditions that I see as a mental health practitioner. Meet Mrs. Y, just another lady, and very powerful one at that, because she's been battling depression. Her mind keeps on taking her to the past, constantly lamenting on everything that she's been through, always talking about all that could have been, should have been, would have been. She's never in the now. And that's exactly what depression can do to us. Make us always think in the past and never be in the now. Also, meet Mr. X. Mr. X, on the other hand, claims to be a top entrepreneur, says he's happy because he's successful and he has made many a fortune. The only issue is that he's never savored those fortunes. He's never paused to be in the moment, to bask in the glory. In fact, he lives in a constant fear. The fear that what if everything goes away? What if everything comes tumbling down? What if, what if, what if? Anxiety disorders can do that to us. It can make us constantly live in the future and not be in the now. So I'm sure that a lot of you are probably thinking, okay, clearly I'm not the 1 out of 4, I'm probably the 3 out of 4. So how is mindfulness important to me? Let's see. Let's see if mindfulness is important for you. Let's see if mindfulness is important for your children back home. Let's see if mindfulness can be used for those that you meet in daily life. So who here is in this talk today for self-growth? Presuming everybody, nobody was coerced and brought here. We're all yearning for self-growth. And yet, 5 minutes of mindfulness, the amount of time it takes to brush your teeth, is what can actually be a game changer for self-growth. I always say that just like there's dental hygiene, why don't you go for mental hygiene? 5 minutes of investment in your mental health. Wait, is that a lot? Okay, let me scratch the 5 minutes. How about 1 minute of intentional living every day? Do you know 1 minute of intentional living every day over the next year, 2022 is already here, is going to make you 37 times more powerful. That's quite a big achievement. So, thank you. I'm sure still some people would come back and say, Dr. Dutta, I don't have that 1 minute because I'm very, very stressed. Stress has become a very common name for everybody. So let's do a quick check. How many of us are somewhat stressed? Moderately stressed? Extremely stressed? Put both your hands up in that case. So a lot of us are facing stress, especially in the pandemic. And we're always asking, what now? Stress is one of those conditions which can have manifestations in the body and the mind. In fact, chronic life conditions like diabetes, hypertension, pains, even undiagnosed illnesses can be a manifestation of your mental health issues. Let me make it more simple. Who here has gotten angry with someone and felt guilty about it just in the past 1 week? 1 hour ago, probably. So we're clearly all sailing in the same boat. So I wanted to take a moment and introduce something because clearly depression and anxiety have foundation in mindfulness-based cognitive behavioral therapy. But how about I send you off today with not only a message, but a very simple exercise that we can all engage in to tap into the now. So I want everybody to keep an open mind. There is no sitting on the ground, don't worry. Also, there is no right or wrong way of doing this, so please don't judge yourself for it. I want you to check your postures. If you can just straighten out your backs. Thank you. You can plant both your feet firmly on the floor. Closing eyes is optional. It's recommended, but not in the beginning. How about we just start by trying to match up our breathing with the triangle. As it goes out, we breathe in, and as it goes down, we breathe out. So I'm going to do a few counts for you. Breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth, in through the nose, out through the mouth. You can gently close your eyes and keep watching your breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. And notice the rise and fall of your stomach. Keep breathing. It's the basic foundation of us being. And with your eyes closed, I want you to tap into any 3 sensations in your body. It could be the way your feet are making contact with the floor. It could be the way your hands are touching. You can focus on the top of your head. And just tap into any tightness, any pain, any feelings in the body. And be with the now sensations. Next, I want you to tap into any 3 sounds that you can listen to other than my voice. Perhaps it's the static. Perhaps it's your own breathing. Perhaps there's a slight shuffle in the room somewhere. Just tap in to the now sounds. I want you to notice the emotions you're feeling and gently open your eyes and notice any 3 things that you can see. Any colors, any patterns, and without any judgment, just be with those 3 things that you see. Thank you. I hope that felt a little bit calm, tranquil, and fun to do. For starters, if somebody was doing it for the first time, great job. Good that everybody participated. I appreciate it. Thank you. Now, how does mindfulness really work? There's a very famous saying by Viktor Frankl saying, between a stimulus and a response, there lies a small little space. And in that space lies our opportunity to choose our response. And in that response lies our growth and freedom. Mindfulness only opens up that space for you by slowing down and pausing and zooming in to the now. In fact, you become more aware of your thoughts, your feelings, even those of those who are in the room with you when you're conversing with someone. So having said that, mindfulness is a lot more than just meditation. You do not have to close your eyes every day in case some youngsters are wondering, oh, it would involve me to close my eyes and probably sit down and that would be funny. My friends would think it's not all right. Let me tell you that mindfulness is a lot more about awareness than anything else. In fact, mindfulness is for you if you've been guilty of scrolling your phone and eating along with it. So you're eating unmindfully, switch that with mindful eating. In fact, mindfulness is for you if you've been complaining that you've been very forgetful of late, I'm sure, and you'll forget everything that we did in this TEDx talk today. Mindfulness is for you if you constantly live with distraction. Mindfulness is certainly for you if you've been up at 4 a.m. in the morning, scrolling through and wondering, why am I still watching this YouTube video and why is my social media feed still on? That's mindless scrolling to mindful scrolling. Mindfulness has a variety of applications, even in medical science. And in fact, mindfulness can help you lead a happier, healthier, and a more fulfilled life. And you can do every activity practically that you can think of in a mindful manner. Talking, walking, eating, cooking, bathing, driving, even sex. Everything can be done mindfully. I'm going to share eventually how I stumbled across my mindful moment. And it wasn't during a meditation, let me be honest. It was during a regular now moment, just like this. I met my real teacher a few years ago, my baby girl. And I think kids are the most mindful of them all. So one of these days we were playing in the backyard. And I was actually not playing. I was playing a cassette in my head about all the things I had to do, all the jobs that had to be finished, all the patients I had to send the prescriptions to. But she was actually playing mindfully with this snail. It's in her hand. And in a moment, she thrust the snail in my hand. And I looked at it. And then I really looked at it with all my awareness, without any judgment, and being in the now. That was my aha now moment. And in fact, I think children are the ones who are the most mindful ninjas out there. We all have that child within us, our inner child. Let's tap into that inner child. Let's not forget about it with our busy lives. Disclaimer, I am not a mindful teacher. I'm still a psychiatrist. I still practice. I have not attained nirvana. And I do eat mindlessly sometimes. I do find myself scrolling at times. So it's not that my life has become perfect. However, every day is interesting. And by doing this practice, I'm achieving a lot of things in my life. So the power of that choice lies in the now. And I hope you all choose mindfulness and happiness will choose you right back. Thank you for sharing your now with me. I appreciate it.